Poll for today. Should the federal government fund universal preschool? Biden just made his biggest mistake so far. Does he have dementia? Former Vice President Joe Biden, who for some reason is leading the 2020 Democratic presidential lottery in most polls, published an op-ed in the Miami Herald on Monday in which he clearly mistook immigration policies enacted during his and President Obama's administration for POTUS Donald Trump's policies. Under Trump, there have been horrifying scenes at the border of kids being kept in cages, tear-gassing asylum seekers, ripping children from their mother's arms, actions that subvert American values and erode our ability to lead on the global stage, Biden or, more likely, a ghostwriter noted. At a time when the challenges we face demand a united, regional response, Trump repeatedly invokes racist invective to describe anyone south of the Rio Grande, including calling migrants animals. The woman and child groping former VP also called out POTUS Trump's morally bankrupt policies regarding Latin America while presenting his immigration plan as an example of America's values. Clearly, Creepy Joe is confusing his former boss policies and events that happened during Obama's tenure with those of the current administration. For example, the kids in cages lie is a whopper. As documented by CNN at the time, migrant kids were literally caged in 2014, when Obama-Biden still ran things. Tear gas. Yes, that was Obama as well. In fact, the administration used tear gas against immigrants 126 times. Oops, Joe. Trump is separating families. No, actually, President Trump ended that practice. Obama used it, though, and a lot. And while it may not have been Obama's policy, to begin with, as the Washington establishment press loves to remind everyone, the same media refuses to challenge Biden over this outright lie. Did POTUS Trump really call all migrants from Latin America animals? Hardly. The president reserved that very appropriate term for the vile murderers and rapists of the international gang MS-13, but the New York Times and the rest of the discredited establishment media concocted the lie and then perpetuated it. And again, Biden wasn't challenged over it and isn't going to be by the mainstream press. PJ Media noted further. Later in his article, Biden claimed that Trump is a threat to the international coalition of more than 50 countries that recognize Juan Guaido as the interim president of Venezuela. Yet Trump's administration was the very first to recognize Guaido as Venezuela's legitimate leader, assembling the very coalition that he supposedly threatens. Worse, Biden gladly met with Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro 4 years ago. The Obama administration blocked sanctions against Maduro's government. Trump War Room tweeted, Joe Biden talks a big game now but was all smiles with Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro just 4 years ago. The best he could do was compliment the dictator's hair. Meanwhile, the Obama-Biden administration blocked sanctions against Maduro. Biden, predictably, also laid into Trump's wall on the southern border with Mexico. Walls won't stop the flow of illegal narcotics or human trafficking, both of which come primarily through legal ports of entry. Nor will it stop asylum seekers fleeing the most desperate conditions imaginable and who have the right to have their cases heard. But in 2006 Biden, then a U.S. senator and a poster boy for term limits, supported a border fence because people are driving across that border with tons, hear me, tons of everything from byproducts for methamphetamine to cocaine to heroin. It's all coming up through corrupt Mexico. Rump War Room tweeted, Biden, I believe the fence is needed because people are driving across that border with tons, hear me, tons of everything from byproducts for methamphetamine to cocaine to heroin. It's all coming up through corrupt Mexico. Thanks for the support, Joe. Build the wall. And in a debate with then fellow Senator Barack Obama for the 2008 Democratic presidential nomination, Biden said, the reason I voted for the fence was that was the only alternative that was there, and I voted for the fence related to drugs. A fence will stop 20 kilos of cocaine coming through that fence. It will not stop someone climbing over it or around it. Well, maybe fences won't, but walls will.